Three, two, one, Larry.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Big Idea podcast. We've got a really good show planned for you today. We've got Chris Snellgrove of Reputation Sensei. Not only is the guy a gentleman, he really improves a real pain point for dealers. He finds a way to get these reputations enhanced, expanded, cleaned up if that's what it takes. And I'm not sure everybody's paying attention to the fact that before they ever come to meet you, they scope you out. They want to see who you are, what kind of dirt you have under your fingernails. So a guy like Chris is vital to what we do. And just so we have an official disclaimer, I've become really friendly with this guy. Not only do I respect him, but I like him. I had the pleasure of meeting him and his lovely wife in Las Vegas. So without further ado, if we can get his microphone working, Chris, why don't you tell everybody who you are, what you do, how you do it?
Thank you, Larry. Can you hear me?
Perfectly.
Yes. Yep, now I can hear you. Hey, awesome. Not to cut you off, Mike, LinkedIn's not live yet, I'm getting a comment. Sorry about all that.
No, on my end, it's good.
Okay. I just got a text from Abdul saying that the LinkedIn, I just want to make sure that it's taping.
Before we begin, Chris, can you just rattle off a quick plug that phone number that we can have scrolling at the bottom?
That's fine. That's my main number. If I try to look up my direct number now on my phone, I think I'm going to disconnect the audio. So that the phone number there is correct.
Yeah. Exactly. I figured that.
Let's go with it, man.
But thank you, Larry, for that very kind introduction. And, it's been a pleasure and honor knowing you and the rest of the guys. And thank you all for having me today. We had a good visit in Las Vegas. That was a good time. It was good seeing everybody last month. So
cool. Welcome to the show. Welcome back. I'm looking forward to hearing you and Mike kind of take some of this stuff and make it a little bit more in English so the average person can understand it, because it's blown up with marketing and AI, and the battlefield is all online and websites and showrooms and lots. It's like, yeah, they're there, but the battlefield, everything's happening online. So I'm excited to hear more, because the last time, we got to know you and I didn't know much about your program. And as Mr. Larkin keeps on teaching me, it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, AI makes me look 25 years younger and a lot healthier. And, but I'll let you.
Whoa, Chris, do you understand this? While you and me are trying to make a living, Gary's going on dating sites now that he looks younger and better. I don't know what the hell's going on here. What happened to the morality of the Big Idea podcast? Come on,
I think the proper term there is catfishing.
Okay, all right.
But did you see my walkout video that I sent you, Larry, last night? I'm using Sora, the AI tool. I don't know if you saw it, but it was terrific. So, but anyway, Mike and I are really from the same. We were really studied under the same mentor years and years ago. Going back, 12 years ago now? David Sprague, was
15 now.
Yeah, 15. And
16,
so
I'm going on my 16th year.
Okay. Well, we met through David Sprague, who's an online marketing guru who was teaching many people how to market their services online. And he kind of coined the phrase years ago, reputation marketing, because everybody was doing reputation management, especially in the automotive business. And when we got into the space, it was very crowded. And we thought to ourselves, how do we stand out against this really competitive market of everyone doing reputation management? And the way that we stood out was is taking those reviews and transferring them and creating marketing assets out of them to really amplify the voices of the happy customers. And I think that really set us apart because if you're going to take the time and energy to generate reviews, you should be using those reviews to communicate trust to shoppers to attract more people to your showroom. And that's what we're known for.
Now,
really quick, can you explain to our audience the difference between reputation management, which they still use?
Sure.
I mean, it's ingrained into their head, versus reputation marketing, which you just described. But what's the major difference? And there is one.
I phrase it up this way: it's reactive versus proactive. I think that when you have the proper reputation marketing strategy, you're taking a proactive approach, and that proactive approach begins with the customer experience that your teams are delivering. The first thing that we ask a dealership when we engage them is, how would you rate your sales team's execution of customer experience delivery on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being perfect? Then we ask the same question for service. And most often we're hearing between 3 and 4 on sales and between 2 and 3 on service. And so the question is, how much is that gap costing that store by not being closer to a 5? So I believe that every successful reputation marketing strategy should begin with your customer experience. What does it look like? How are you measuring it? What type of feedback loop do you have in place? And I will tell you, a lot of stores, even some that we do business with, will, we're reporting the news. I say, that's how I kind of term it, that we're providing the data on a monthly basis on, what the customer experience looks like on a encounter by encounter, service transaction by service transaction, sales transaction. We're providing that data back to the store. But, are they using that data and that feedback to get better? Are they coaching their people up? We give individual report cards for every single salesperson and service advisor. They have their own individual report cards that will highlight any areas of improvement. We give a complete AI sentiment analysis for the store, detailing all the common issues that are on internal feedback and external reviews, and then areas that the store is doing good. And we recommend having CX be a part of every single meeting. Take 10 or 15 minutes and talk about it, and coach it. And that's how you improve your customer experience and ultimately your CSI scores. And that, I think, is the key difference. Management is responding to the reviews, which, okay, anybody can do that. In fact, a lot of companies use a automated process to do that. We don't recommend that, turning any kind of automation on. We've seen bad things happen. There's companies out there that will respond to every review with an automated AI response. I don't recommend it. A human being touches every response that comes out of our company.
Well, that would make perfect sense, because AI is not the end all. In that goofy thing that AI throws in on an email, you'll lose that customer immediately. They knew it. They see it. It's obvious when it's generated, and that's not personal.
Right. And we do use AI to enhance, but not to.
AI, well,
it's good for enhancing, but not completely to respond.
Well, a perfect example is what I'm doing with my marketing in AI. I get sometimes there's goofy stuff that come out, and I say, do I want to continue to work it, or do I want to just post it? But you got to make sure it's in content that people know, that you're not trying to scam them with using AI or taking things. It needs to still be personal, especially when it comes to a car and service, because they're already nervous and they're looking for trust. You can't give them a reason to not trust you.
That's right.
Hey, Chris, I got a question for you as far as response goes. Couple of numbers I'll throw at you. In the car industry, they've been said that those that don't respond, in other words, they're managing their reputation, in other words, asking for the reviews, But when those reviews come in, and especially on Google, they don't respond. It's costing them 30 to 35% loss because it's not the person that wrote the review that you're asking for the review. It's the thousands of other people that come across and want to check out how well is the market responding to this company. Those thousands of people, when you don't respond, they go, yeah, they don't care.
Mike, that's because they don't teach history in high school anymore, so they never heard of Ben Franklin, who said an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
I love those quotes.
Well, and that makes
one point on that. I find it shocking to still find dealers, and I'm visiting one next week, that still are not responding at all to the positive or negatives. And I mean, I'm talking to actually a fairly decent sized group, and one of their stores is not responding, which is like, you know, every single person that went out of their way to write a positive review, you didn't even take the time to thank them. And then the people that left negative reviews,
you're not getting return business there. I mean, they're not coming back to you. You insulted them.
And more importantly, the people that are looking at it are that's
the whole market that's looking at your rooftop as far as, am I going to connect with them? Am I going to engage with these guys? They didn't even say thank you for this nice review that was left for us, or they didn't make it right with this person who's flaming mad and left them a review. They just don't even know or
Michael,
care.
that would come under the category
35% revenue. Crazy.
That would come under the category of reputation mismanaging. To not respond to a positive thing and say thank you so much, and more importantly, not to respond to a negative and say, boy, am I sorry we weren't able to satisfy your needs. Reach out to me personally. We'll do whatever we can to make you happy. This is not a complicated concept. Hey, Chris, I guess we should be glad that they're not a 911 or an emergency response center, right? You have a lot of dead people.
And when you're not responding to the reviews, you open up a whole new department in your dealership, and it's called sales prevention. Yeah. We don't ever want to feed that department, because sales prevention, we know plenty of organizations that have it, and they just figure out a way not to do business.
Let's say a dealer reaches out to you. Give us a short view of as to what would happen. Hey, Chris, I need help. I don't like what I'm seeing on my reviews. What would you do? Give us because I found what you do to be really dramatically simple and effective,
and necessary, and absolutely necessary.
So we serve. We have two main services. One is Reputation Sensei Marketing. That's our core. It can go into any store. It can serve any store because it provides that continuous feedback loop. We completely integrate with their technology. So whenever you leave the dealership, within an hour, you're getting a survey sent to, or a review request sent to you. Our program is designed to help circumvent negative feedback. So if they're 1 through 4 stars, we're containing it. We're still Google compliant, anti-gating compliant for sure. But our system will circumvent about 90% of those people, because we want to use that 1 through 4 stars as an internal feedback mechanism to try to make that customer happy. That will immediately open up a ticket on our system and immediately alert the proper department, either sales or service, that you have an unhappy customer, in which point that appropriate manager can respond with an AI-generated response. The AI-generated responses are beautiful. They can modify it if needed, but a lot of times
you can see what comes up, and then you can pick which one and make sure that you personalize it. So that's just the use of the AI.
And my point is that every 1 through 4 star generates a ticket. That ticket can't be closed until that customer is communicated to, either by phone call, email, or SMS.
And so that stays up in the bubble. It stays up in the queue or whatever. It's not going away until you finalize it.
And this ensures that the customers are getting followed up on. Because let me tell you how most dealerships handle negative feedback. They get an email notification from their email provider, from their reputation provider, either Podium, Birdeye, Reputation.com, whoever. And then they got to decide, okay, who's going to handle this on the team, on the leadership team. They forward it to that person. They forward the email saying, hey, we need to deal with this customer, contact them. And then they're operating on pure hopium that it gets done. There's no follow-up system. So we've created a system that ensures follow-up.
That's the message.
Ensures the customer gets communicated to. And this platform is beautiful. It has the AI sentiment analysis, has report cards, it has marketing that pushes out to the positive experiences to the website, to social media, so it's amplifying it. That can go into any dealership. Then we have testimonial marketing, which is reserved for stores that are knocking it out of the park in terms of CX. If you're doing a good job with customer experience, we can deploy testimonial marketing in your store.
They're in the show. They're in the community. They're very visible. They're wowing customers and
yes, they're raving fans. The only thing they're not doing is capturing it with a testimonial. So we go into those particular organizations, those stores, and we train a process. The testimonial app is the technology, but we have training that backs it up, and we train the salespeople how to get a customer to feel comfortable in front of the camera. And let me tell you, it is a methodology of a very specific methodology that we have worked on for many years, because most people are not comfortable or giving a testimonial. Because if
Larry does a wonderful job in his classes. So Larry is able to coach those, and he's not twisting their arms. And that's what it is. It's talking in common language that customers appreciate.
Right. Yeah. And that's the key is getting your customer to feel comfortable, because the last thing we want to make the customer feel at any point is to feel uncomfortable or feel pressured to do something. So we have a very specific technique in which we train the salespeople on how to interview the customer in front of the camera. The salesperson is typically involved, because most customers think if they have to give you a testimonial, you're going to stick a camera in their face and say, hey, Larry, you to open up with your name, the name of the store, what you purchased, what you like best, and hey, mention my name at some point. Go.
Yeah. They're like, whoa, slow down, pal.
Well, and it's pressure, and it's they're having to perform in front of the camera. If we teach an interview style where we get the salespeople comfortable with that interview process, they introduce themselves, they introduce the dealership, the customer, the vehicle they purchased, thank them, and then ask them 3 or 4 pointed questions, and then they have a outro. That's it. In and out in less than 60 seconds. And it's very powerful.
Here's amazing.
I just thought something too. There's a back end benefit to this, because if you hear what Chris just said, he said we don't ever want the customer to feel uncomfortable or feel pressured. In a back way, while you're trying to get reputation managed for the next deal, you're showing them how to make the current deal. Because the more they understand customers should never feel uncomfortable or pressured, the better. So here's yet another benefit of working with Chris and his company.
Well, here's a point. Thank you. CSI. So I'm kind of, what was it? In the 90s, right? Everybody wanted CSI. Honda, Toyota, CSI. So now we used to train on that. And that art has gotten lost. And the transition over the last 20 years has gone to CSI is no. Everybody needs to learn how to use a camera in a car dealership. The marketing today, the salespeople, the best dealerships today have given their salespeople the guidance to start using social media and start posting and start using all that and being human. So your training is teaching them how to teach their customers that if you're comfortable with us, this is our goal. And then all of that data is now gold, is now easy videos that the salespeople can use with more feedback. Is that, hey, don't take my word for it. Go look at my last 20 deliveries. These customers, this is what they're saying about our dealership. So huge with the dealers that have built their brand and that they've taught everybody their brand. Mike Larkin, mission, vision, values. Now with Reputation Sensei, they go on steroids, because now all they're doing is everybody is pouring into the buckets the same thing. They're hearing from the same dealer group. Wow, this dealer group's doing it over here, and this salesperson's over there, and they see them all the time. And that's today's way of capturing the market.
That's a great point, Gary. And, you said something like, if the salespeople today are not marketing themselves on social media, do you really want them on your sales team? And that's one question that we tell leadership. Make it part of the interview process. Hey, tell me what you're doing on social media locally to brand yourself. You're looking for those local influencers. I'm not talking about the Russ Footswips. We've been learning this all along. We've been learning who's the local people, and it's the community and the local brick and mortar. Yeah, it's the salesperson that has 5,000-10,000 followers locally. You want that person that's already working to brand themselves on social media in the local market. You want those people on your sales force. So I would ask every single salesperson that I'm interviewing, what are you doing to brand yourself on social media? And if they say, if they're not doing it, next.
There's a guy, let's give a big shout out to my pal, John Cone, Joncone, New Country BMW. John is on Facebook. He posts his customers. He posts every day. He was doing it well before the kind of trend and the TikTok people jumped on board. And he's a wonderful salesperson. He's been selling repeat BMWs to customers. He's a part of the local community. And that's exactly what dealers need to have more. And you need to have a couple inside your store doing it. And it's being proven by dealers all over the place now. You're seeing some Ford dealers are going 10-1 used to new. And what they're doing is they're building their people as local celebrities. And so I'm thrilled, because now I understand it. 20 years ago, no one was invited into those conversations. That was always held by the owner and a few others, and you were never able to learn how the market. They would come in with their reports and make them buy different, marketing. But you organic now, dealers can build their own organic leads in their own ways, just using video and YouTube. So much easier today.
And the salespeople that are doing this or putting out the content, guess what? They're driving their own traffic to the store. We recently installed 2 Honda stores up in Jersey, and in one, there's a young fella, 27 years old. He was doing testimonials before we got there, and I was very impressed because he sells 40 cars a month, and 12 to 15 of those come from his own traffic, his TikTok account. He has, I think, 170,000 followers on TikTok, and all he does, he posts really different types of videos, all dealership-based. One of the ones, surprisingly, that had the highest count was he was pressure washing a customer's mats off in the detail area. I don't know why it got all the hits or the views, but it had hundreds of thousands of views. And
so fun.
But here's how he would get a testimonial. He walks outside. He doesn't even ask the customer. He puts them in the car. The door's open. They get behind the driver's seat. They're smiling from ear to ear. And he whips out his phone and he starts filming. And they look at him and he goes, "What do you think?" And they're happy. He starts asking them questions, and they're smiling, and they're in probably the best state that they could possibly be in.
Yeah. They're just
right there. And then they shut the door. They roll the window down. He asks a few more questions, and then he films them driving off. And that's his TikTok.
How beautiful is that?
Yeah, 170,000 followers. And this kid was driving forklifts 2 years ago, and he'll make close to $300,000 selling Hondas in Jersey City at Metro Honda. Yeah. The kids.
That's awesome. Those are, and there's a lot of those stories that can be shared. And the dealers that embrace this, I mean, they start having contests, and they start. I mean, that's cool, because we were always in the 90s trying to build teams and create morale and lift everybody up. Now,
Chris,
it's lifting everybody on social media. Go right ahead.
You know the secret on that, right? Why they smile when they get in the car?
Because they're happy?
No. That new car smell makes everybody smile.
For sure.
It's the ether.
Yeah. It's getting into their lungs. It's like, wow. It's better
Chris,
than laughing gas.
We try to keep these podcasts a little shorter so we'll get more views. I know a few dealers that have used his program. The results are remarkable. He's an easy guy to get a hold of. He does straight up good business. Do you have any last thoughts, Chris or Mike or Gary? Because I recommend you highly to everybody.
Thank you. I mean, my parting advice for any dealer is figure out a way that you get your customer experience, your customer stories inside your customers' social feeds. The easiest and most effective way to do this is with testimonials. You get your team to shoot a testimonial and get them to share it with the customer. Our app makes it easy, but you don't have to use our app. Our app makes it easy to get that inside the social feed. But you don't have to use that. You can get that testimonial inside your customer's social feed, and when you do, that's where referrals come from.
I've been learning for the last 5 years of all this, and now connecting the dots is so true. Is that with knowledgeable people, you can now take leads and you can watch it go all the way through. There's not a lot more. It used to be guessing. Now it's not an exact presence, but we now know that videos and blogs and articles about that create visibility. Google's teaching all of us how they work and teaching. I got LinkedIn now teaching me about algorithms, telling me when I should post. And so you want visibility? It's right in your own hands. You take the phone, and I was uncomfortable with it. Mike kept on nudging me. Now he can't get me and Tucker off. Stop posting, Gary. And Tucker,
it's a kick in the pants.
So it's amazing how when you follow the methodologies, how it works. And it just doesn't happen overnight. You got to work it, and it takes a few months and to get your Google ratings and your stuff. But boy, is it cool when you start seeing your leads showing up in reviews and visibility and people watching, and the dealer starts percolating. The service department gets busy. The phones start ringing. It's a welcoming place. So I love it, and I'm glad that I finally got some clarity on what you do. And it's the future. So with Larry as your friend and praising you, it's a pretty good referral. So thank you for coming on, and enjoy the weekend. Mike, good seeing you.
Yeah.
Larry, thanks for all you do.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Chris, just really quick, you're a rare breed. I'm at the top of the funnel. You're at the top of the funnel, in the middle of the funnel, and dealers ask me, "Hey, I got to put another body on this." I'm like, "No, I don't need to convince your people anything, but you do, and that's why you're different. Is you're doing at the top of the funnel, getting them in, but when they get in, you're training them while they're in the funnel." So you're
insane.
Congratulations on that.
100%. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody stay healthy, and thank you so much for tuning in.
And as we say, Sensei, have a sensational weekend.
Take it easy.